Hey guys, I'm cmasupra and welcome to another Company of Heroes 2 multiplayer video. I am playing as the Russians, my opponent is playing as the Germans, and the map we are playing on is Moscow Outskirts as opposed to Moscow Inskirts. But So anyways, in this video, you guys will get to see a brand new unit that I have never shown in any Company of Heroes 2 video, and that unit is Assault Grenadiers. Now the reason I've never shown them before is possibly because they were just added to the game. I don't know if they were just added to the game, but as far as I'm aware, they were just added to the game. I played a whole bunch of games as Russians today, and never before have I seen so many players using Assault Grenadiers, because before today, I'd never seen any Assault Grenadier squad, so I guess they were just added to the game. I don't really know, though. But, yeah, Assault Grenadiers. So, a little bit about them. The way you get them is by buying a Doctrine on Steam for either $3 or $4 or $5 maybe. I can't remember how much it costs, but it's one of the more expensive Doctrines on Steam. And you buy that Doctrine, and then at the 0 CP level, you have to have 0 command points. You can get it from the very beginning of the game. You can have Assault Grenadiers for 320 manpower, as opposed to the 240 manpower that regular Grenadiers cost. Now, what are Assault Grenadiers? They are basically a Volksgrenadier squad with a MP40 upgrade already bought from Company of Heroes 1. If you never played Company of Heroes 1, the best way I can describe it is Grenadiers with MP40s instead of Car 98s, and then also a fifth man on them. And they also cost 80 manpower more, 320 instead of 240. So that's really the best way I can describe them. They are really good at close range because MP40s are submachine guns, and like all submachine guns in Company of Heroes and Company of Heroes 2, submachine guns are good at close range, not so much long range. So they are very good close range units, and I must say, the result of a German player using Assault Grenadiers over Grenadiers in the early game is very weird as a Soviet player. I mean, I played a whole bunch of games against Assault Grenadiers, and I'm finally learning how to deal with them. But it is still weird dealing with them because they're good at close range. Your conscripts are good at close range. It's not a good matchup. Their submachine guns will win out at close range, so with conscripts, while you'd normally have to charge into close range against grenadiers to try and win, now you want to stay at long range where the submachine guns on the assault grenadiers won't kill you, and so it is a very weird balancing act in the early game. Still something to get used to even after I've played a whole bunch of games against assault grenadiers. So I've explained what Assault Grenadiers are, I've explained how to get them, I have explained their cost, which is 320 manpower. What else is in the Doctrine that you get with the Assault Grenadiers? You can also get a few more abilities, but the two most notable ones are a 250 half-track with a Panzer Grenadier squad already in it. And if you don't know what the 250 half-track is, it is basically the infantry half-track that the Panzer Elite had in Company of Heroes 1. That is the only way I can describe it. I can't really describe it in Company of Heroes 2, but you will see it in this game, and I'll show it to you when it does appear. The other thing you get at the end of the Doctrine is a Tiger tank, just like you get with some other Doctrines as the Germans, and so in this game we will also be seeing a Tiger tank. So we'll be seeing most of the Doctrine that gives you the Assault Grenadiers in this game. So this game is dedicated to that Doctrine, basically. Now, like I said, I did play a whole bunch of games against Assault Grenadiers today. Over 50% of the Germans I faced used Assault Grenadiers, and so I'm not going to show you all those games. This is just the best game I got out of all of them, and it was actually a quite good game, so I wanted to show it to you guys. I actually just finished playing this game like 30 minutes ago, so I'm commentating this pretty soon after playing the game. So far what's happened in the game, which I have not talked about at all, is I have built nothing but conscript squads, and I have bought the Molotov upgrade. I decided to go with Molotovs instead of a fast T-70, because I'm fighting against Assault Grenadiers, and they are better than conscripts are at close range, and so you have to fight at long range with your conscripts, where your conscripts really aren't that good. And then your opponent can just charge up to you and own you with his Assault Grenadiers, because you can't really walk away like you could in Company of Heroes 1, because as you're running away from a unit, your unit that is running away will not turn around and fire behind them at all. at all. I mean, at least in Company of Heroes 1, they fired every once in a while behind them. In Company of Heroes 2, they don't fire behind them at all, so dealing with the Assault Grenadiers is quite difficult to do if you don't have Molotovs. So the way I was using Molotovs, or decided to use Molotovs against the Assault Grenadiers, is I would let them get in close, but I'd also throw a Molotov basically right at my feet, and they would sit in the Molotov and roast to death, because if my opponent wasn't paying attention, they wouldn't notice that I had a Molotov on their squad, and then the squad would die at close range. So that was really the only way I could deal with the manpower reasoning of the Assault Grenadiers, because most of the time, a conscript versus an Assault Grenadier squad, the conscript squad will lose, and so Molotovs were my only way of tipping the tide in my favor. A fast T70 was an option, but a fast T70 also would be a bit late against these Assault Grenadiers, because the Assault Grenadiers come at 0 CPs right at the beginning of the game, which I think is a bit lame. They really should be at 1 CP like the whatchamacallits, the shock troop squads are, and guards rifle squads, and all those. Those actually might be the only two I'm thinking of. But anyways, so if Molotovs are one way for me to deal with the Assault Grenadiers, the other way I'm dealing with them is I'm just trying not to fight them. Oh, he threw a grenade there. He threw multiple grenades. That is one thing that Assault Grenadiers do, is throw multiple grenades whenever you tell them to throw a grenade. They have what are called Model 24 grenades. Really means nothing to me, but they have grenades. I throw multiple of them. Each grenade individually is pretty weak, but I still try to dodge them because I don't want to take extra damage that's not necessary. So, as I was saying, the manpower war is really not something I can win here. I mean, Molotovs do help me against the Assault Grenadiers, but they're not going to win the war for me, because they cost quite a bit in terms of munitions, and so the other way I'm trying to win this war is map control. I'm trying to get as much map control as I can possibly get against this guy. If you can't win the manpower war, you might as well try to win the map control war, because it's the only thing that you can possibly get in your favor. So I'm trying to get map control. I actually do have quite a lot of map control, and in fact, one point here a bit earlier, I actually completely cut off my opponent from any map control at all. I captured all 4 points around his base, and so he was completely cut off from all resources. So I am winning the map control war at this point. I have more map control than he has. I've cut him off at least once so far in this game. So I am winning the map control war, but I'm not winning the manpower war. I believe I've actually already lost a full conscript squad, so I am down 1 conscript squad right now as well. So, losing the manpower war, winning the map control war. Oh, this is not good for this conscript squad. See, one Assault Grenadier squad chased him off, and the other one came in for the kill. And I am so lucky I survived that. I am so lucky. Normally you would die from that happening. I don't know how I didn't die. So I have built Tier 2, and I'm going to build Tier 3, because even though I did buy early Molotovs to help my early game against the Assault Grenadiers, I'm still trying to go for a fast T70 here, because a T70 is something that Assault Grenadiers cannot counter at all, and that is one advantage. If your opponent does this, where he goes entirely Assault Grenadiers, not one single Grenadier squad, your early T70 will do a lot of damage, just because Assault Grenadiers do not have Panzerfausts. Oh my god, it's such an amazing thing for them to not have Panzerfausts. Oh yes, I am so glad they don't have Panzerfausts, because if they had Panzerfausts, they'd just be too good. Because they'd be able to counter the T70 as well as the Grenadier squad counters it, which admittedly is not very well, but at least they would be able to counter the T70 by damaging its engine. But they actually can't do that in this case. That was a nice Molotov. Molotov, there we go. My voice stopped working for a second there. Molotov. And I actually won that battle against an Assault Grenadier squad. That is amazing. So Tier 3 is almost done building. I would need 55 fuel before I can buy the T70, but I can guarantee you, once I get 55 fuel, I am buying that T70, because I am just barely holding on right now. In terms of manpower, I'm just barely holding on because I'm not winning these fights. And so the T-70 will greatly help me out here. One thing I probably should have mentioned earlier, but didn't because I forgot to, is that because Conscripts cost 240 manpower and Assault Grenadiers cost 320, I will have more Conscript squads than he will have Assault Grenadier squads, and as a result, that would also help me in getting more map control, because I just have more units out there capturing points. Those of you who have been watching me for a while might remember my 1v1 on a 4v4 map from the Company of Heroes 1 times. I made a Company of Heroes 1 video called 1v1 on a 4v4 map, and in that video, I ended up winning simply because I had so many more units out on the field capturing points compared to the number of units my opponent had. And so this is basically the same thing that's going on here, except it's not a 1v1 on a 4v4 map, it's a 1v1 on a 1v1 map. But it's the same idea, just to a lesser degree. So I will have more units than he will, and thus I can just capture more points even if I'm not winning the individual engagements. So I wanted to mention that and let you guys know that that is helping me out here. Just having more units able to capture map points. So T-70 is out. I sent it to the left here against this Assault Grenadier squad. I also sent an MG, the Maxim MG that the Russians get, over here to suppress that squad, but there was no need because the T-70 came out before the MG could possibly have helped. There is an AT gun here in the middle, an enemy AT gun pack, and so I am going to be staying away from the middle for a little while because I don't want to lose my T-70 like I lost that the engineer squad. There we go. That's what they're called. So, you might have seen in the middle there, the thing that killed my engineer squad was a half-track, and that's a half-track you've probably never seen before unless you've ever faced this doctrine or used this doctrine. And that is the 250 half-track. That is the infantry half-track that the Panzer Elite get in Company of Heroes 1, and now it's in Company of Heroes 2. So as you can see, the guys can fire out the top of it, and what is in there is a Panzer Grenadier squad. That is the call-in they get. They get the half-track with a Panzer Grenadier squad in it. If I remember correctly, I believe it costs 560 manpower and 55 fuel. I am probably wrong about that because 55 fuel seems a bit excessive for that call-in, but that's how much it cost last time I looked, which was like 2 hours ago. So I didn't look too closely, but I'm pretty sure that's how much it costs. So it is quite the expensive call-in, but it is also a pretty good call-in because that half-track protects the Panzer Grenadier squad, or whatever squad you put in it, and that makes them more effective. And if you have Panzer Grenadiers in there, which you most likely will since that's what comes in the half-track, they are very effective at close range, so it is quite the good call-in, and the price is probably justified in my opinion. Probably justified in my opinion. I'm not sure if it is justified or not. MG is here to kill the half-track, and it does just that. I was actually going to set up the MG and have the MG fire at the half-track, but it doesn't actually take the MG to kill the half-track. It just took one single bullet from one of the men who were not manning the MG. That was pretty funny. Molotov on that squad. Who's going to win? I'm going to lose, not win. So that didn't go so well. Looking at the minimap, you will notice that I still have more map control. I definitely still have more map control, so even though I am losing the manpower war and I've lost my T-70 to Panzerschrecks on the Panzer Grenadier squad, I am still winning in the map control war, and this is really the only thing going in my favor right now. I am definitely losing the manpower war, and that is not doing me any favors, because manpower is the most important and rarest resource in the game. So my opponent actually has quite a decent amount of AT right now. He has a pack, and he has a Panzerschreck Panzer Grenadier squad. So his AT right now is pretty good, like I said. Now I'm repeating myself. His anti-infantry is also pretty good because of all the Assault Grenadier squads, so this is not good for me. I'm hoping right now, I'm not sure of it, but I'm hoping that he has so much AT that his anti-infantry capabilities are lacking right now, and if they are, then I will be able to hopefully win the infantry versus infantry war, basically. So I'm hoping to be able to win that. This conscript squad may very well die. Will it die? It looks like it's getting away on them. on the mini-map. Excuse me. MG on the left side forced that Panzer Grenadier squad with the Panzer Shrek to retreat. Now the MG should face the AT gun. That would be pretty funny. Having the MG destroy the AT gun. I'm actually sending not the AT gun, the MG over to the left side. I wonder what my idea with doing that was. I don't actually remember. Even though, like I said, I played this game like half an hour ago. So, in the middle, I am losing map control, and in fact my opponent has cut me off from the whole right side of the map as well by taking 1 point, and so this is not good for me in terms of map control anymore, nor is it good in terms of manpower, because he has Assault Grenadiers, and those have just been annihilating all my infantry. I do have a T-34 out on the field now, though. I wanted something stronger than the T-70, even though the T-70 is better against infantry than the T-34 is. And my opponent has nothing but infantry. I still wanted something stronger than the T-70. And so I went with a T-34, and I'm sending it over here to the right side, where I know there is not a single pack that my opponent has over there. And I'm going to have it just go own the Assault Grenadier squad over there. Grenades incoming on that squad. Oh, 1 man left on this squad. Yo, kill it, T-34. Kill it. Kill it. No, you're turning around. And I failed there, so the squad gets away. Now we can have the T-34 come over here and possibly help this conscript squad. Hurry up, T-34. Molotov on the squad. And the squad is now retreating. I wonder if he retreated because he was losing the fight against my conscript squad, or if he saw the T-34 coming. I don't know, and I will never know. But I do wonder. So, T-34 versus not three Panzer Grenadier squads here, 3 Assault Grenadier squads here. Can it crush them? T-34 is actually a pretty good tank at crushing. Crush them all! Crush them! Yes. Yeah! Crushing! Oh yeah, it is crushed that, or not necessarily crushed, but crushed some of those guys and killed the rest of them, so that whole squad is dead. That is good. That's 320 manpower gone for my opponent. The pack that was in the middle of the map is now shooting at my T-34, so I have the T-34 run away all the way over here, but I'm stopping it right here because I don't think my opponent will move up the pack too quickly, and I want to get some shots off on this Panzer. I keep saying Panzer Grenadier squad, but no, it's an Assault Grenadier squad. And his pack has now moved up, and my T-34 gets away with 1 hit away from dying health left. If that made any sense. It was sensible. It made complete sense grammatically, but I don't know if that made sense at all to you guys. What I mean is it was 1 hit away from death and got away. There we go. So, looking at the minimap, my opponent is once again cut off from any resources on the map. He only has a single munitions point on the map. That is all he has. This Panzer Grenadier squad is retreating, and he's retreating the wrong way. Oh, that is just so unlucky for my opponent. I bet he did not expect him to go through this path. But hooray for me, because it means I can shoot at him and kill his men. I actually killed 2 of the 4 men on that squad, so I killed 2 men, cost my opponent manpower, and it cost me nothing at all, except he now knows where my whole army is. But that's not too big of a deal because he doesn't have artillery. So, I've also built a mortar. I built that pretty recently. That's the word. And the pack has now moved up. So I'm going to have the mortar shoot at the pack. This Maxim MG is shooting at these 2, actually 3 Assault Grenadier squads. And I'm amazed that he actually retreated all 3 of those squads. I would have thought he would try and spread them out and then flank my MG. I am amazed that he retreated those 3 squads, but I was so glad to see that he retreated the 3 squads, because now I can go attack that pack and have no worries of anything else shooting at me. So, the pack was moving back. The mortar I told to stop firing at the pack because we no longer know where the pack is. Something just exploded there. I have no idea what it was, but I knew that's where the pack was, and so, knowing the pack is there, I plan an assault on the pack cautiously, because while there was nothing on the pack for those few seconds, there's potentially something guarding the pack right now if he stopped moving the pack. So I'm cautiously moving up here. MG's capturing a point, 2 conscript squads capturing the middle VP. I'm sending him there to go attack the pack right now, along with this third conscript squad. Hello again, half-track with Panzer Grenadiers rather. I keep calling units by the wrong name today, once again. Oh well, you guys know what I mean. Time for an AT grenade on you. Oh yeah. I would have expected that to do more damage, but apparently it doesn't. So this squad is kind of screwed here at close range. Even if the Panzer Grenadiers squad does have 2 Panzer Streks, they still have two MP44s on them, so they are really good at close range, and thus this Conscript squad is screwed, especially with another Panzer Grenadier squad coming in. I really wanted to throw another AT grenade on the half-track, but I decided against it because I wanted to save my squad. Do they get away? They do get away. Good. So the half-track is now actually quite damaged. My opponent doesn't have very much map control connected to his base. He does have more than he had at one point, where he had nothing. But he doesn't have much right now. So I am winning the map control war. And right now I am also kind of winning the manpower war. One thing you might notice from my opponent, oh, this squad is so screwed. Oh, this manpower war winning thing is about to change. I threw a Molotov and I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose this whole squad as a result. Am I? Am I going to lose the whole squad? No, they're going to get away. Oh, wow. As I was saying, one thing you might notice is that my opponent doesn't have any Pioneer squads. That is actually key for what is about to happen. If you remember what I said at the beginning of the game, you might know what's about to happen. Otherwise, you'll find out pretty soon here. Hello, half-track. What on earth is this guy doing sending his half-track here? I guess it's a result of him not having any Pioneer squads. So bye-bye, half-track. Threw an AT grenade on him and killed him, so that was pretty easy. Now my T-34 here, this is actually my first of the 2 T-34s I have on the field right now, is trying to squish all these Assault Grenadiers, and I am just not doing a good job of squishing them. One of my worries here, by the way, is the Panzer Grenadier squads with Panzer Streks, because there were a couple of them over where the two conscript squads were at that house that I had to retreat from. So I am worried about those guys showing up. There's also a pack shooting at my T-34, so squishing them has been cancelled. And now it's a matter of defending what little territory I have in this corner that he is attacking. I still have more territory than he does connected to my base, which is just awesome. So, who is gonna win this? He has really no counter to my T-34 right now. Both of his Panzer Grenadier squads had to retreat, so he has no Panzer Streks here. He does have a pack over there, as you can see, but I'm gonna send my MG over there to shoot at the pack. And then over here, dealing with the Assault Grenadiers, is a T-34 and a Conscript squad. And, I have quite a few units in my base. I don't know, that was just a random thing I noticed. Assault Grenadiers are backing off. They know they were going to lose. And look at that, my machine gun has decrewed the pack. Oh yes. That is awesome. So, map control wise, it appears that he and I are both at about half map control now. He has taken back some map control with that onslaught he just did. But I am going to take back my map control now that his onslaught is finished, and he's no longer on the field, more or less. He's pretty much retreated his whole army back to his base right now. So this is good for me. I will say that most of this game, I actually had both of the fuel points, or at least I was denying fuel from my opponent, even if I didn't have the points myself. So my opponent's fuel income most of this game has actually been pretty low. However, right now he does have 1 fuel point, and I have 1 fuel point. So it is balanced right now, but overall he has had less fuel than I've had this entire game. Just something to note. You'll see why later. What a tease. Oops, this MG is facing the wrong way. No problem though. T-34s will take care of this Assault Grenadier squad. Oh yeah, you need to retreat out of there. I see smoke down here. What is coming in? It is a light artillery barrage. That is one of the abilities I did not mention that comes with this doctrine that gives you the Assault Grenadiers. My MG is suppressing these two Panzerschreck squads. Oh, Conscript squad, you better kill that last Panzerschreck guy. Oh, you better kill him. They didn't kill him. How rude. They didn't obey me. Oh well. I made both those squads retreat, so my T-34s are once again free to reign anywhere they want to go. And now pretty soon here, you may have already seen it on the minimap, but pretty soon here we'll notice another unit that my opponent has bought as part of his doctrine. I keep teasing you guys with this unit, but you're about to find it out. Find it out? What? Find out what it is. Oh, what is this conscript squad doing? Oh, that is not where I told them to go. I told them to go to the middle of the map, but apparently they just thought that going through the enemy base was the fastest path. If only I'd been paying attention, I wouldn't have had to retreat the squad, and now they're just retreating all the way back to my base, which is not what I wanted. So for my doctrine, I actually picked a doctrine that is the leftmost of my three doctrines. This is a new doctrine I've selected. It's not a new doctrine, it's been in the game for quite a while as far as I'm aware, but I've recently chosen it in exchange for another doctrine they used to have. I don't know which one it was, but I chose this one because it gives you the ISU 152. I've actually been trying to get a good game with the ISU 152 lately, and the other abilities in this doctrine are actually pretty decent, so pretty much all my Soviet games that I played today and yesterday and the day before that we're using this doctrine. I seem to have a lot of trouble using this doctrine. Like, the abilities are good, but they're all really expensive as well, so you gotta have a lot of resources. But like I said, the reason I wanted it was the ISU 152, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that we won't be seeing the ISU 152 at this game. It's just too expensive, and I don't have the resources to pay for it. I can get the fuel to pay for it. I think it's 290 fuel, but the manpower is like 680 or 780 or something like that, and I just cannot spare that much manpower. But here we can see the Tiger, El Tigre, in Spanish. So the Tiger's out on the field. I threw one AT grenade at it, and it now has a damaged engine. I noticed it a bit earlier as I was playing, and that's why I now have 3 AT guns right now. I built a second one when I saw the Tiger, and I also went to capture the decrewed Pack 40 that my opponent lost a bit earlier. So now I have 3 AT guns, 2 of which are ZISs, 1 Pack 40, and I'm going to use all 3 of these to try and kill the Tiger when it comes to the middle of the map. Now the Tiger does have a damaged engine from the AT grenade, as I mentioned, and that is a very important fact to know here. So just pay attention to that fact, and look how slowly it's moving. It's moving slower than a King Tiger moves in Company of Heroes 1, and that unit moves extremely slowly. So hello, Tiger, you are showing your rear armor towards me in the middle of the map. I will gladly let you do that. My Maxim MGs are going to work on my opponent's infantry squads. My mortar has to retreat. I have 2 AT guns facing the Tiger, but only one of them can fire at the Tiger because of the location of the Tiger right now. 2 Panzer Grenadier squads are behind my lines trying to kill my AT guns, but unsuccessful. They're unsuccessful because they only have Panzerschrecks right now. They don't have MP44s, so you're not gonna kill infantry with Panzerschrecks, so they're kind of screwed in terms of facing my AT gun and trying to kill it. But in terms of facing my T-34, they actually had a chance, but they didn't use it what? Let's try again. They didn't use it successfully. There we go. Now you may have noticed that my opponent's King Tiger has actually died. Yes, I just killed the King Tiger as I was trying to say the word successfully. And so the King Tiger is, not King Tiger, the Tiger is now dead. So, 1 AT gun on its own killed the Tiger, and it also got Vet 2 by killing the Tiger. It actually killed only 1 vehicle this entire game, and that Tiger was it, and it gave it Vet 2. Oh, that was quite nice, even though it was useless, because my opponent has now quit the game. He rage quit. He lost the game. No GG from him. So, Assault Grenadier Doctrine Commander, whatever you want to call it. Gives you Assault Grenadiers, the half-track, the light artillery barrage, and a Tiger, and one more ability that's really not noteworthy. So, we've seen four? Uh, how many did I say? Light Artillery Barrage, Tiger, Half Track, and Assault Grenadiers. Yeah, 4 abilities. We've seen 4 abilities from the Doctrine, which is most of the Doctrine, and as you can see, it's actually a pretty good Doctrine, especially with the Assault Grenadiers. But the Tiger is still not that good of a tank. It's not a super tank like it was in Company of Heroes 1, people. Quit playing like it's in Company of Heroes 1. It's really not that super of a tank, especially with the damage engine. I do want to expand on the damage engine, by the way. The damage engine on the Tiger, from my one AT grenade I threw on it, was actually the reason I was able to kill it. That one AT grenade, if I had not thrown it, I probably wouldn't have killed the Tiger, because the Tiger was actually moving so slowly that it wasn't able to get away from my AT gun, and so it just died because it couldn't run away. Just that simple. So it wasn't the fact that it had 3 AT guns or anything like that that killed the Tiger. It was the one AT gun being able to shoot at the Tiger for so long because I damaged its engine that made me able to kill the Tiger. It's just really not that good of a unit. None of the super tanks are, except for the ISU 152 and maybe the T-34 85s. Those are pretty good. But that is it for this game. My opponent has lost. His Assault Grenadiers did not win him the game. They definitely won him the manpower war in the beginning of the game, but I was also winning the map control war in the beginning of the game. So I had more resources. I was able to tech to a T-70 and then a T-34 and then another T-34. And through those 3 units, I was able to kill so many Assault Grenadiers that my opponent started losing manpower faster than I was losing manpower, and so I ended up winning in the end. I already had the map control. It was just a matter of winning the manpower war, and those 3 units are what did that for me. So that is it for this game. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.